Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Um, I'm glad that you could, be here with us. Alongside Jan is here with me today. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody.
So, from what I understand, you've got a few good beneficial
Yeah,
tips you
I
want to
brought
share.
my invisible sack of random tips with me today. I hope you don't mind.
No. Mm-mm.
Good, good. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you. Putting on my teacher glasses because sometimes I have difficulty reading my own chicken scratch. Anyway, these are today's 5 random money keeping tips. All right. This sounds so basic, but it's really important. Learn to say no to unnecessary wants. Why? Because there are 2 reasons. One, to live a more disciplined life. There's nothing wrong with us using our discipline muscles and working them out. It's okay to say no to things once in a while. Next, to completely avoid that rabbit hole of debt. A lot of people don't mean to get into debt. They don't want to get into debt, but they do. In other words, avoid debt at all costs. And let's clear something up. In my mind's eye, there is no such thing, Steve, as a thing called good debt. A lot of
No.
professionals use that term. I'm not comfortable about it. Debt is
Mm.
debt. There is no such thing as good debt, in my
Yeah.
honest,
Hmm.
contrary to popular belief. Next, avoid winning, let's say, a living pet as a prize, for example, at a carnival or a street fair. And at this time of the year, Steve, there are lots and lots of carnivals and street fairs coming around during the summer.
Hmm.
So they cost money. Those pets that look so cute at the carnival in the little glass fish bowl, for example, you think you could even get the fish bowl to go home with. They pour it into a plastic bag and give it to you on your own, kid.
Yep. That's right.
So keep in mind to avoid winning pets unless you have everything ready or don't mind spending the money. Avoid winning pets as prizes at carnivals and street fairs. They cost money to maintain when you get home. Next, use outdoor methods to dry your clothes, either on a clothesline or a drying rack. There's nothing fresher, in my opinion, Steve, than when I wash clothing, they smell so fresh, and put them outside. Now, I can't readily hang a line. It's not allowed in New York City anymore to do that. But what I do is the next best thing. I have what I call it a crisscross rack. You know, those drying racks? Mine is made out of stainless steel. I
Hmm.
put it next to an open window, and on a breezy summer day, for example, that air still comes through and it still helps dry the clothing. Plus, my little washing machine has like a drying feature in it that where it's practically 95% extracted of all the water. It's really, really convenient. So
Yeah.
I love to do that. And it's such a savings. Next, do not over purchase fresh produce. Yes, it might make us mentally feel happy. Hey, we went to the grocery store. We went to the fresh fruit stand or the farmer's market. We come back with a ton of fresh produce. But if you're a family of 1 or 2, can you honestly eat up all that fresh produce in a timely manner? Or you get a call and you're going away for 2 weeks, only to come back and find your fresh produce went bad. We don't like food waste at all whatsoever. We need to learn how to properly pack up our fresh produce in the first place to save it properly, and also not to overdo it with the fresh produce. I'd rather see people spend money on frozen fruit or canned fruit along with some fresh produce, just like you
Hmm.
have to examine your habits. Next, find creative and free ways to have fun at home. We can whip up some popcorn and you can put on some fun music and have your friends come over and hang out and just laugh and talk. And who knows, maybe even get up and dance or even play the game Twister if you still own it. Even older people don't mind playing Twister or other fun things like that. Fun does not have to cost money. Steve, I want to mention something I like to do in the wintertime. 2 things. I either play bingo at home. I have the whole setup. Invite some friends or family. We don't use cash prizes. Instead, I ask every guest that wants to play the bingo to bring one pantry item, like a can of fruit or a pie or whatever you
Oh,
want.
okay.
That is
Yeah.
the prize. That's the prize. And for the jackpot prize for the bingo, like a Stouffish frozen big meal, a family meal, that's the jackpot prize. Guess what?
Oh, I like that.
That
Okay.
does not have, yeah, that person's family does not have to go home and cook that night. So
Oh, I like
you can
that.
do it playing poker or bingo. I like to do this once a year. It's a lot of fun, low cost entertainment. People think you have to spend a ton of money to have fun. Not true.
No,
How do you like
no.
those tips?
Well, the tips of the ones that you mentioned, I'll call out the ones that really stick out like a sore thumb in my mind. You're absolutely right about the clothesline. Um, my mom, when we had a clothesline in one of the places that we lived, yeah, she would take the laundry basket, go outside with her clothespins and hang them up on the line. And I tell you what, that makes your clothes smell better than if you run it through the dryer, even with a fabric sheet in there, whatever you do. No, putting it out on the line, it gives it a little bit more of that more natural
It's
smell.
amazing. That smell is
And
amazing and
not
freshness.
only is it amazing, but here's the big one. You also put money back in your hand because it costs money to run that dryer because you're using heat. That's electricity. So if you run a load of clothes in your dryer for 50 minutes, that's a lot of heat. So yeah, I'm a big, big fan of clotheslines. If you're able to have it and they'll allow it, please, by all means, go for it. Um, the produce or fruit and things like that, vegetables. What I've learned, I will only go and buy an amount that I know that I'm going to use within the next couple of 3 days. I won't go over, I won't go under. Um, here's a prime example. I do like fresh cherries from the produce section. I also like a good grape. Um, I'll only buy 1 pound, and I have a reason for that. Not that I don't like the fruit, I do, I love it. But I have been known to go back after a day or two and look, and you might have a couple of three that may be overly ripe at that point. They look bruised. They don't look worth. They don't look edible. So that's one of the reasons why I like to stick with a certain amount of certain things that I know can, can turn. Another one that's bad is you got to watch a strawberry. That you have to be a little bit critical on because if you're not careful, you definitely want to go by that color. Because
Yes.
if you buy strawberries that are too deep red, those are ripe. I wouldn't want to take those home and then 4 days later try to eat those. They're going to turn on you. That's why I would rather them be a little bit of a lighter shade, a little bit of red, but not so deep red. That way it buys me a little bit of time. And here's another fruit that just hit me, bananas. Um, Go ahead and buy them when they're just a little bit green. You just buy yourself some time. If you
We do.
buy them that Yeah, if you buy a banana that's yellow already with a little bit of the little spots that are showing up, yeah, that's when they're at their ripest. But you have to watch. A day or two, they'll turn on you. So
That's right. Unless you plan to use them that day or eat them that very day. Yeah, you are so right.
right, and coming back to the entertainment, popcorn, music, dancing, sure, why not? I like music. My
Yes.
musical taste my musical tastes are eclectic. I'm not just tied down to one specific decade or a type of music. I'm all over the map. So, if I were to do that, it's never a dull moment or boring in my case when it comes to music. I guess primarily because I know which songs to pick. So,
And
Yeah.
entertainment does not have to cost a ton of money. It's about who you are, in my opinion, than where you're with. If I'm with a couple of people that I really, really love to talk to or want to get to know better, or just have fun, listen to the music, hang out, or whatever. I don't know. It's just reminiscent. When we were children, well, when I was a child, for example, we always called our friends over. I went either to their house to play records or they came to my house to play records. That's just what you did. We had
Yeah.
fun listening to music, hanging out, or playing the radio, whatever. Who says we can't do this as adults?
Hmm.
Sure, we can have music, fun, listen to music, reminisce, and just laugh and talk. Put out some, little appetizers or coffee and cake, whatever it is. Get a deck of cards. A deck of cards costs hardly anything. You could play so many games with decks of cards. You do not have to
Hmm.
gamble for money. Just like play poker and maybe try to win a box of macaroni and cheese. Just be creative, or some candy or something. We could just be very, very creative. Does not have to cost an arm and a leg.
No, it doesn't. No, 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 not at all. It's just a matter of being able to think it out, more or
Yeah.
less. So, all right. Well, I enjoyed the tips that you brought in. Those were
Thanks
good.
for having me here. I love to talk about money keeping tips. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
you're welcome. And if you guys would do me one big favor, this would be ever so great. So, but I want to thank everybody, for stopping by, and Jan always. It's always nice. And
Steve,
you
are
know,
you coming back on Sunday? We're going to talk about some more of this kind of thing.
I am. Yeah, we're gonna come back. There's gonna be like another, like a part two to this lineup. So
Good.
yeah, we'll definitely be back. So you know, be on the lookout. It'll be about the same time frame as I normally put up. So be on the lookout of a part two to this.
We love sharing tips.
Right. So I hope everybody has a great, whatever time of day it is, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye.
Bye bye.